The Story of the Bow. Down there was a teacher and his student who traveled everywhere, spreading goodness and helping others. They journeyed on and on until one day they ran out of food and money. One day they were preparing to cross a desert. At that moment, the teacher saw a pile of scrap metal on the side of the road and said to his student, "Pick up that pile of scrap metal, sell it, and we can use the money to buy food for our journey. The road ahead is still long." The student looked at the rusty, greasy, and dirty pile of scrap and hesitantly said, "Master, I don't think it will work. That pile is too filthy and my clothes are clean and proper. It would be embarrassing to pick it up. I'd rather not." Seeing this, the teacher replied, "All right then, if you won't pick it up, I will." And with that, the teacher bent down, gathered the scrap metal, and took it to sell. Luckily, someone bought it, and they had enough money to buy 18 apples. The teacher put the apples in his pack, and the two of them continued their journey across the desert. After walking for a while, the student began to feel hungry and remembered that his teacher had the 18 apples. He wanted to ask for one, but felt embarrassed because earlier he had refused to pick up the scrap metal. So he remained silent, enduring his hunger. But the teacher, being wise and kind, pretended to accidentally drop one apple along the way. The student picked it up and ate it happily. This continued as they walked. The teacher would pretend to drop an apple every so often, and the student would pick it up and eat. By the time they finished their long journey across the desert, all 18 apples had been eaten. At the end of their journey, the teacher turned to the student and gently asked, "Did you enjoy the apples, my dear student?" The student shyly replied, "Yes. Yes, they were delicious." The teacher then asked, "And what did you learn from eating those apples along the way?" The student responded, "Master, I have learned a very important life lesson. If I had bowed down just once at the right time, I wouldn't have had to bow down 18 times just for a bite of food." Hearing this, the teacher nodded and smiled, saying, "Good. Everyone has pride, but depending on the phase of life, that pride holds different value. If you bow down once to learn what is necessary in life, your future will be filled with fewer moments where you have to bow down repeatedly.